Think about the role of your eyes in sport. Hitting the ball if you're a baseball player, ground strokes in tennis. The eyes are critical to performance. But how often do we train them? In this video, you're going to go through 3 exercises to train the fundamental abilities of the eyes that will improve your performance regardless of what sport you play. Hi there, I'm neuro performance coach Daniel Gallucci, and today we're going to discuss eye tracking. And to start, we really got to discuss, well, why are we even doing eye tracking? And I think kind of working through all levels of sport, whether we're working with little kids all the way up to Olympic or professional athletes, eye tracking is something that is massively neglected. And why that's important is because your eyes are literally the foundation for everything else that comes. So your ability to have decision making, your ability to move through space is really all built upon the foundation of how your eyes are processing information and then how they decide to work with other areas of your brain and body to kind of do what you have to do. So one example I'd often give as a previous footballer, which I didn't know at the time, or else I would have been probably a more successful footballer, soccer player, would be the ability to understand as a ball, you're receiving a pass through space and understanding that, oh, okay, oftentimes we're like, okay, well, I have to figure out that there's a defender here. I need to move to a certain position. I need to place my body in a particular way. I need to be able to have my arms in a particular way. I need to see where other players are. And while all that is great, oftentimes we've kind of lost focus and said, does this player even know where ball's coming from? Does he see a ball coming from the right the way he would see it coming, he or she would see it coming from the left? When he turns his head, can he or she still understand where that ball is coming from versus over here? So again, those are the fundamental aspects that we're going to go through today. It's going to lead to the type of visual tracking skills that you need to succeed in your sport. Another good example on the importance of eye training would be a UFC mixed martial arts fighter that I'd worked with a few years back, where this guy was getting ready for a pretty big fight. Noticed that he was having issues processing information, or just felt like he was getting hit. His coach noticed that he was getting hit primarily on his right side, coming from the opponent's left side, and they were doing more head movement drills, they were slipping, they were doing other sorts of things. And then what we ended up just implementing from a performance perspective was the ability to just improve how visual information was being processed. So just the ability to track information as it got closer and as it moved further away. And he was great at doing it on one side, he was great doing it up here, great doing it over here. But then when you move to his right side, then he was having trouble over here, trouble over here, trouble over here. So it was really just implementing the tools to say, okay, how is this person going to process information coming this way? And then when this person moves their head, how are they going to process information coming from this way? And once we implemented that, like you would any other training program, almost like you would with, oh, my quad isn't as good on this side, or my quad is too strong on this side. That sort of analogy, we just kind of implemented that same process with the visual training and ultimately led to a level of great success. And the 3 exercises that we're going to go through with you today are going to help whether you have some sort of visual related injury or problem that you're dealing with, or you're just looking to take that performance to another level. Drill number 1, the standing figure 8s. And you're actually going to do 2 sets on the right leg. You're going to do 2 sets on the left leg. If you're missing a leg, somebody's asked this question before, you can omit the missing leg, okay? So let's call it you're standing on your right leg, okay? You can use your other foot to touch down whenever you need. You may not do it as well as, I actually not doing it that well right now, but I'll try. So you're standing on one leg, core is tight, you're really looking at integrating. It's about eyes, but also the body. You're using your eyes and your body. They all get tied together. And then you're going to go standing right leg, right hand up. And then you're just going to draw little figure 8s. And you're not moving your head, your eyes are following. You're going to do about 10 repetitions. If that left foot, like me, has to touch down, that's fine. You're just trying to stay nice and upright. 10 repetitions is 1 set. You can do the same thing, left thumb up. You're going to do the same thing on the left side. So you're doing 2 sets right, 2 sets left. You're doing that 3 times a week. You can anchor that into existing training programs or other things, but you're doing that 3 days a week, okay? Drill number 2 is a fun one. Walking VOR, vestibular ocular reflex, name doesn't really matter, VOR cancellation. So where this becomes really important is you're using your eyes, but you're also having to use your brain to inhibit, which means to cancel, a natural reflex. So if you've seen any of our other videos and you see, okay, you're staring at your thumb and you're moving your head back and forth, that's an inherent reflex that's evolved through hundreds of millions of years of pre-human evolution. Now we've got to use our fancy human brain to inhibit, stop that reflex to keep your eyes on a target and move at the same time. Also pull your body in at the same time so you get great bang for your buck in terms of visual tracking skills that also gets tied into the way you need to move. So the way to do it, you're just going to go 10 steps or so right leg, 10 steps or so left leg. When you go right, step right. When you go left, you step left. Okay? So you're going to go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? And then we're doing that 3 sets, 10 repetitions in each direction, and you're doing that 3 times per week, okay? Drill number 3 looks a little bizarre. If you're anchoring this drill, atomic habits-wise, if you're anchoring this drill into existing training programs, meaning you're at the gym or you're on the field or you're at the rink, it's going to look kind of funny because we call it the walking trombone. This is really about visual information tracking as things move close and as things move far away. This is huge for anybody that's ever sustained like a head injury, concussion, anything along those lines. You have to have the ability for your eyes to move apart equally, to come together equally, and now we're adding in also the ability to move at the same time. This becomes critical for receiving a pass, understanding where you are in space, knowing where information is coming, knowing when a ball's coming. So what you're going to do, walking trombone, standing, okay, about 10 repetitions or so, out and back, and you're just going to walk. You're going to go out, in, kind of like playing a trombone, okay? You can back up, relax, 3 sets, same thing. You're going out, in, out, in, out, in. And again, you're doing that for 3 sets. You're also doing that 3 times a week. Okay, to summarize, exercise number 1, the figure 8s. You've got 4 sets in total, 2 on each leg, 10 repetitions each, and you're going 3 times a week. Drill number 2 is that walking VOR cancellation. So the head and the body swaying side to side as you're walking through space. 3 sets, 10 repetitions in each direction, also 3 times a week. The third drill, the walking trombone, 3 sets, 10 repetitions each direction, near and far. That's also being done 3 times a week. Often when we're doing these sorts of drills in clinic or in our performance scenarios, we like to anchor them to existing things that people are doing. So you can be doing this as part of a warm-up. This is when we use it most of the time. If it can't be done in a warm-up scenario, then this can also be done at the end of a training session. It can even be done at the end of a game or a competition. But we like anchoring it to existing behaviors, just making sure that you're getting those repetitions in. A couple good examples of when to do these drills would be before your sport, before you're playing your sport, or even after a weight training session. And if you like the idea of eye training, then check out our foundation program that has drills like these and more laid out in a step-by-step progressive fashion. See you soon.